Pounding her foot loudly on the table, the innkeeper silenced everyone and announced in a high-pitched voice, "Quiet, everyone! This wine is mine. No one is fighting for it." Without hesitation, the innkeeper raised the glass and downed the entire wine in one go. Subei was silent for a while, observing her strange drinking style. Then, with a faint smile, he asked, "So tell me, innkeeper, how was the taste?" Relishing the sweet flavor, the shop owner's eyes gleamed with greed. She immediately said, "How many formulas do you have? I want them all." Subei chuckled slightly and, like a seasoned trader, replied, "There are 5 formulas in total. Considering our old acquaintance, I'll give you a discount of 20 gold coins." Resting her hand on her chin, the shop owner playfully responded, "You little devil! I think I'm starting to like you a little." The narration quickly explains the currency system. 1 gold coin equals 100. Silver ingots equals 10,000 copper coins. Subei now clutched his purse tightly and rejoiced inwardly. Not bad. Earned 20 gold coins in one go. That's enough to upgrade everything now. Showing generosity, the innkeeper slammed a dagger onto the table and said, "I won't take advantage of you. Consider this dagger a gift from me." Subei's eyes lit up. "Excellent. Great. The dagger isn't bad, innkeeper." Then he quickly said goodbye and exited the tavern. As he was leaving, the innkeeper called out, "If you have any more rare formulas in the future, remember I'll buy them right away." Subei offered a faint smile. "Don't worry. After all, we're old acquaintances." From behind the counter, the innkeeper laughed and called out, "You little devil! You have a smooth tongue." As soon as he stepped out of the tavern, Subei immediately opened his control panel. There was no question of wasting time now. First, he needed to enhance his weapon. Upon opening the control panel, a notification appeared. Upgrading the dagger will grant 10 points to every attribute: strength, agility, constitution, and spirit. Upgrade time, 10 hours. 2 options were presented. Spend 180 silver ingots to double the speed, or spend 700 ingots to completely skip the training time. Subei calculated in his mind. A slight hesitation arose but vanished instantly. The upgrade cost is high, but the attributes are so valuable that it's worth it. I need to change classes during the protection period, so this expense is nothing. Without any delay, Subei decisively pressed the upgrade button. A notification instantly popped up. 700 ingots spent. Equipment upgrade successful. Now 10 points had been added to intellect, strength, speed, constitution, and spirit. Subei caressed the hilt of his newly upgraded dagger. A confident smile emerged on his lips. Amazing! With these stats, clearing the first floor of the God's Tower will be as easy as slicing vegetables. Everything was ready. Taking a deep breath, Subei began his journey toward the God's Tower. In the outer part of the beginner area, several people were fighting over a small rabbit. A man seized the opportunity, grabbed the rabbit, and yelled, "Sorry, little rabbit, you're mine now!" Standing in the corner, Subei let out a long sigh and said, "Such a cute rabbit, and these people are surrounding it to kill it." He ignored them and slowly walked deeper into the forest, as the rabbit was so low level that it wouldn't even drop a single coin. Suddenly, a blonde-haired boy standing behind him noticed the direction of his steps and urgently warned, "Subei, don't go there!" "There are no guards. That's a dangerous area." Subei lazily turned his head and said, "Where is the dangerous area?" As he spoke, a tall, terrifying creature emerged in front of him. It was a wild serpent, which roared loudly from behind him. The blonde-haired boy trembled with fear and shouted, "Watch out, Subei! Retreat quickly. That's a wild serpent." Meanwhile, Subei held the dagger firmly and, with a cold smile, said, "This little snake isn't even worthy of getting stuck between my teeth." A smooth slash, and the entire snake was cut into several pieces, scattering on the ground. The other 2 boys stood still, shocked in fear. What happened? How did Subei defeat the wild serpent so quickly? All 3 ran closer. The blonde-haired boy asked in astonishment, "That was a level 1 serpent." "How did you do that?" Subei carelessly replied, "What's difficult about it? I just raised my hand and it was done." The blonde-haired boy earnestly advised, "Subei, you shouldn't go so far ahead. It's better to stay away from danger." The second boy immediately chimed in, "That's right. Our current gear is weak, and all 4 attributes are low. If we die, returning won't be possible." Subei still looked completely carefree. He tossed the coin he had just earned from killing the snake with his finger. The coin landed directly in the blonde-haired boy's palm. Subei said with a faint smile, "Thanks for the warning, but take care of yourselves first." And then, in an encouraging tone, he said, "Come on, guys, keep going." The blonde boy now glared at him in exasperation. This Subei is truly insane. The other boy also muttered, "Unbelievable. He's treating us like we won't even last 5 minutes against a wild beast." After leaving that spot, Subei stood in a corner and took a deep breath. He realized that the number of players outside the safe zone had decreased significantly. Suddenly, another serpent lunged at him from behind, mouth open. Subei twirled the dagger and pierced its head in a single blow. The snake's body slowly dissolved, and along with it came the reward, 10 experience points. Subei picked up the coin, examined it closely, and slowly said, "It feels like I'm playing the God's Tower game, but the leveling is a bit slow. If I want to clear the first floor quickly, I'll have to kill a lot of monsters." Just then, 3 more wild serpents suddenly flew in from somewhere and attacked him. Subei brandished the dagger again and struck rapidly. In just a few moments, the heads of all 3 were severed from their bodies. Meanwhile, Subei mocked them with a wicked smile. "Come on, the more the better. The fun is when the fight gets even bigger." After killing the 3, he received 70 experience points and 3 coins. But then he let out a long sigh. This method is fast, but the drop rate is too low. Suddenly, a notification board flashed in front of him. Announcement: the 10th season of God's Tower has officially begun. All first kill records for the novice area have been reset. Whoever defeats a monster first will receive several rare and attractive rewards. All new players are invited to break the records before the veterans. Subei chuckled softly to himself. So, the 10th tournament has begun. Now I must level up quickly. I have the clock of all things. Even with such powerful divine weapon support, it would be a shame for me if I let someone else take the first kill. In the new area where a crowd of players had gathered, everyone was focused on who would achieve the first kill. But it was clear to everyone that unknown people like them had no chance. Meanwhile, 3 newcomers were discussing amongst themselves. The blonde boy said, "I don't know about other regions, but in our region, the first kill will surely be taken by one of the 3 great families who were born with a silver spoon from the start." To which his companion replied, "You are right. I saw the eldest daughter of the Lin family, who was wearing a full legendary set." While a third person said, "That costs millions, doesn't it?" He said, "Yes, it starts in the millions, with the entire set often costing well over 10 million. Despite this, high-level players stand around her like bodyguards. All of this clearly showed her wealth and status. But they stopped dreaming and got back to monster hunting without much further talk. Meanwhile, Subei was continuously killing monsters with his one-hit kill skill. The damage was straight triple, and the monsters were wiped out in an instant. His monster killing speed was so fast that he quickly attained level 2. A system prompt appeared. "Congratulations! You have attained level 2. You are the 823rd player from the eastern region to level up. As a reward, you have received a black iron chest and 2 free attribute points." Subei immediately opened the system window. "Finally, I've leveled up." Along with the attribute points, he also received a black iron chest. "That's not too bad," he thought to himself. Checking the leaderboard, he was a little surprised. The system ranking had been updated. Several players had already reached level 2, and the top player was close to level 3. Subei thought in frustration, "This is all because I spent time observing things in the starting phase. But never mind, I will surpass everyone." Then he remembered the reward. With excitement, he said, "Let's see what comes out of the black iron chest." Then the system prompt appeared. The black iron chest reward is common cloth armor. Subei was surprised. "Got equipment too?" "I thought there would be some coins." The system prompted again. "Please select the equipment for upgrade." Now Subei had both the dagger and the cloth armor in his hands. He was a little confused, but then he thought, the monsters in the newbie zone are still weak. It would be better to upgrade the weapon first. So he picked up the dagger and chose the upgrade option. The system asked, "Choose a number. You can upgrade it a maximum of 8 times. The cost of upgrading once is 50 rupees copper coins." Subei immediately confirmed. The system prompt appeared. "Upgrade successful. Refined dagger +1. Information flashed on the system board again. Upgrade limit 8 times. Subei thought, then I'll just upgrade it to the max. The total cost came to about 9 silver coins. Fortunately, he had enough money. The system then confirmed that the upgrade would cost 9 silver and 65 copper coins, which he confirmed. Now Subei held a dagger that had been refined 8 times. New information arrived on the system board stating that its quality was excellent. There was no user restriction on it. Additionally, with its help, physical attack and magical attack increased by 10. Also, his attack speed increased by 10%. Looking at the dagger, Subei said, "So only the first upgrade gave the basic attributes. The rest of the upgrades only boosted the attack power. Subai swung the dagger to test its strength and felt that it wasn't bad. Now, with these increased attributes, his total attack had already reached nearly 100 points. Even though it was just an elite-grade dagger, its attributes were comparable even to the rare type. This really is Clock Divine. Then he stepped forward and began moving with determination towards the first floor of the God's Tower. The boss was waiting for him in the beginner area. He was ready to face death. The system then reminded him that only 10 monsters appear in the beginner area on the first day. Killing those will grant the entry rights to the first floor. Even if teams are formed to kill the monsters, permission to enter the tower is very limited on the first day. Therefore, the name for the first kill record will go to one of these people. Facing the Lin clan, Subai was just moving forward slowly when suddenly strange sounds of fighting came from behind the cliff. He panicked and ran. The thought came to his mind. Did someone get there before me? No. The first kill should be mine. Inside the cliff, a group was fighting a horde of goblins. A voice said, "Die quickly." Someone shouted, "Keep giving support, the goblins are increasing." Peeking from behind the rock, Subai said, "How wealthy these people are. Do newcomers really have so much wealth? No one's equipment is less than elite level." His gaze repeatedly fell on Lin Yashan, the heir of the Lin clan, and Chongfei standing next to her. Subai thought to himself, their entire bodies are covered in rare armor. Now even my 8th grade refined dagger looks weak. Just then, Lin Yakan thrust her sword forward and commanded, "Second team, strengthen the formation further. Third team, manage logistics. Distribute medicines, replenish quickly." Upon her command, her entire team replied in unison, "Understood," and immediately moved forward to attack. Meanwhile, Lin Yachan and Chongfei stood there. Chongfei looked at her and said, "Madam, if this continues, we will soon reach the first floor of the God's Tower." Lin Yachan gave a cold look and replied, "Don't underestimate Liglin and Boklin. There are many paths from the jungle to the plain. They might be right behind us." Just then, Lin Yachan suddenly sensed someone's presence. She turned quickly and shouted in a sharp voice, "Who is there?" Subai came out in a cheerful manner and greeted everyone. "Would you like me to continue the story,